Hey, what's up everybody? T Squared here, coming at you with a gameplay commentary, this time on Slayer Plaza against 3/4 of Optic. Right here you can see my squad and the squad that they're playing with. And this video is 5 things that are wrong with the Summer Team Arena preview. Now, I don't want anyone to think, negatively towards 343. This is the exact opposite. I'm actually happy with what they're doing here, taking the community feedback and also changing things up and having the pro team on board. I love what they're doing actually, but what I want to do is I want to point out the things that are sticking out like a sore thumb and then continue to play the game types, test them out, and say what I do like, what I don't like. But these are the things to me that through plenty of years of playing Halo, about 12, 13 years of playing Halo, these things to me just completely stand out. And the first thing that I would like to see is I would like to see some sort of justification from 343 when they release the details of these statements. So I'm going to link you guys to Halo Waypoint in the description below, and you guys can see the announcement that they made when they changed the game types here. And something to keep in mind is that when you play a game like League of Legends, for example, if you've ever played League of Legends and they have an update or a patch, they say why every single champion is being changed, and hey, we buffed this for this, we nerfed this for this, we moved this for this, and there's reasons why. So it kind of gives you, okay, this is why it was changed, instead of saying this is why it's changed, and or saying, hey, this is changed, and not saying why it's not changed. So hopefully you guys understand me what I'm talking about there. And then also it's the timing of this whole thing. I think the timing is a little bit off. I think that announcing this a little bit earlier and then releasing it right around the LCQ, maybe right after the day after the LCQ, so the players that are on teams that want to put in the individual work can do so, because there is no official HCS playlist. So now if you want to go and practice, get your individual skill up or get your shot on, whatever you want to do, it's probably best if you just play Warzone Assault or just free-for-all, and it doesn't make it as 4v4 heavy as I would like to see. I would really like to see, I think there is room for a complete HCS playlist, and I hope that's what Team Arena is the exact game types of what the HCS is at that exact time, so we can practice those exact game types all the time. And I know you guys hear me out there, and I know you guys feel me out there, because there's a lot of people asking for the same thing. So I think that is a huge thing to bring up, and it worries me that when this stuff's going on, when these changes are being made and there's no announcements, we don't even know if these game types are being played in the LCQ. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it worries me that they're just playing this by ear or not, and if everyone is like, oh, these game types are amazing, next thing you know we're playing in the LCQ. But that's not going to be the case, I don't think, and I don't hope. So this video is to kind of say, hey, let's stick with the original game types, hopefully, but let's not talk about that too much, because this video has other things we want to talk about. So one of the most important points, and probably the first point that I should have made, is that changing the game type so early into the game and having such a drastic change across the board, when you're talking about moving weapons everywhere, when you're talking about new grenade placement, changing the areas of the strongholds, all that stuff, it's coming out just way too fast, and the meta of the game was still forming. We're still getting, this game mastered, the spawns mastered. It's not going to take, 6 months and then all of a sudden we're masters of the game. It takes a little bit more. We're almost there. I think that we're seeing a really nice aggressive meta towards these game types, and we're going to see some really awesome competitive games moving forward, but we're not going to see that same competitive level that we were seeing now, because now these teams are going to have to shift towards what this new meta is going to be with the game types changing. So I think the way that 343 should be, going about this whole meta thing and what the game should be played at the highest level is by introducing new maps and just really focusing on what the maps could be, or introducing maybe a new cool mechanic or something like that, instead of saying, okay, let's just change where the weapons are here and stuff like that, and that will be what the new meta is, and that will challenge the players. I don't really think that's the way to go about it. So that's one thing that I think is a little scary for me. And then also where the overshield placement is, since we're over here going for the overshield right now in the gameplay commentary, and it's over at Yard. Now what I was thinking here was, when I saw the overshield placement on here in an Empire, they said, okay, well in Empire everyone wants to hold outside in strongholds, so if everyone has control, we want to give the power back to those people that are in need and that are spawning towers, so let's put the overshield right next to them. But what concerns me is that there's a spawn that is right there. There's multiple spawns that are right there. You can literally spawn almost on the overshield. You're so close, you're almost melee distance. Never in Halo history, correct me if I'm wrong, have I ever seen a spawn so close to a camo, a power-up, an overshield, a custom, an evade, whatever you want to call it, throughout all of the Halos, speed boost now. So I don't want to go into the individual game types here. I just want to talk about what concerns me. Just like that overshield, placement concerns me, because the top center area, to me, people are still, shifting on how to get new ways to go for that overshield. There's still a lot of new things. There's even other things that haven't been discovered in this game yet. And I know that I've discovered one of them, and I haven't shared it with everybody yet. So there's a lot of things that could be discovered, but when you shift the game type so drastically, then it isn't allowed to happen. So let's continue on, because this game type is going a lot faster than I was expecting. But shifting the weapon placement, the last point that I want to make, drastically affects the callouts, which immediately is going to cause frustration for new players, and they're going to have a negative thought process towards the game types. And I hope that that was taken into consideration when they decided to change everything. So when you say Coliseum, that the sniper's been moved to, green tower or yellow tower or whatever it is, and the rockets have been moved to green or yellow, like, no one ever called that, green or yellow tower ever, from what my experience is. And it doesn't seem like you're in a green or yellow area part of the map, and those don't really seem like towers to me. So it worries me when you change the weapon placement, because that's what a lot of people would call certain specific parts of the map, because these callouts that you have in the bottom left aren't exactly the most precise callouts. So, and they don't really have anything to do with what's going on in the Halo game. So Halo to me has always been, oh, they're at the Needler, so when now everything's moved, that's fine that they're trying out new things, but I just am pointing out that that's immediately going to cause a negative impact on a lot of people's mindsets. So it's a lot of change way too quickly. Let's go over the 5 points really quick. There needs to be more justification. Definitely don't agree with the overshield placement right off the get-go. It's changing the meta before the true meta was formed. Shifting the weapon placement drastically affects the callouts. And then the timing is off, in my opinion. And those are the 5 points that I wanted to get across, guys. Checking the final score of this game, it was 50-33 right here, and keep in mind that Optic wasn't searching with their full squad. That was just 3/4 of the squad, which gives us a huge advantage. But hopefully you liked the gameplay, and hopefully people can agree to disagree, and we can get some good comments going on down below, and maybe get 343 involved, so we can all just have the best Halo possible and all just enjoy it as much as possible. And like I said, I'm willing to totally play these new game types and still give them a try, but these are the things that stand out to me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.